There we go. My cameraman kind of canceled on me last minute, so I appreciate
know
it.
what that's like.
Well, hi, I'm Bill Ayers with Real Film News. I'm speaking with Andrew. Andrew,
Hi.
you know, what kind of interested you in the film?
What interested me in the film was the character Mason. It was really close to home. I do a lot of dancing. I also choreograph and direct. And this is my first feature film, so I always wanted to do a film on my first major film to be something that was close to home, so I didn't have to worry about acting too much, so I could see what it was like just to be on set. It was a character that I knew because Mason, in a sense, was me. So I don't think it's extraordinary acting that I do up there, but I feel it's my personality that's coming out, which is great for the film. I had a lot of fun doing it. What was the other question that you asked?
You know, I guess my real curiosity is kind of what interested you in the role, you know?
What else interested me in the role? Mason wasn't attached to the drama. Mason was an outsider. He had his own backstory. We know that Mason dances, like this is his career, and being a part of the cheer team was huge because that's how schools would hire him. Like having a winning team, you get that money. This is what he does. Yeah. So I felt that kind of connection of being an artist, knowing what it's like that you need your art to produce, to turn over like income for you. And if not, then where are you? What do you do? So my thing was just to let Mason live and just to share my life really on screen.
Well, I've got to ask you, because I've seen a lot of dance on screen as well as in person.
Yeah.
Dancing is kind of the, the interpretation of the soul, you know, in the physical essence. What are your thoughts on that? So,
I think dancing is the interpretation of the soul. I always feel that my main training has always been as an actor. Dance came later into my life, but hanging around dancers, watching dancers work, studying with dancers, you see that dancers are storytellers as well. They just use their body. They don't use lines. They don't have song or lyrics. It's not the words, it's not the dialogue. It is truly emotional what they put out there. So dancers are actors, and I feel it's a little bit more vulnerable because you can't rely on the words.
Very true.
To express the story. Everyone is watching your movement, exactly what you are doing, and it needs to be so specific to convey so complex of a thought.
Now, in terms of the role, I mean, obviously the role is as a choreographer, and you've done, you know, you are a choreographer. Mm-hmm. How is that, you know, kind of difficult in terms of, you know, the director kind of, you know, says, okay, well, here's the scene, here's what I would like it. How do you interpret that and then kind of say, well, this is how I feel the scene should, you know, happen?
It is a collaborative effort. You have coming with this kind of experience, and I think that's why they hired me, because they saw that in my background. You know, an actor can make suggestions of this is what feels natural, this is what feels right, and if it's in the director's vision, then yeah, you can try it. If not, then it's up to the actor to try to make it work, to try to make the acting moment come alive and be true. But of course, you can express how you feel, and you go back to relying on. You hope you've surrounded yourself by talented artists who have clear opinions and cool ideas about the work that they're doing.
Now, dealing with a cast like this, it's a younger cast.
Yes.
Now, obviously, they have a lot more energy than an older cast, but at the same point in time, maybe they don't have the background that you do in terms of, you know, dance and kind of expressing themselves in a physical essence. What's the biggest challenge with that you work with?
I think we all were around the same age. Like, I played a character that was out of high school, but I don't think he was too far out of high school. I didn't really see them as minors. I felt them more as peers. I think we all have, everyone in this cast has come to this production with experience.
Very true.
So we're all experienced artists, and it just added to the film. That's part of the job of the directors and the producers, to hire the right people and then trust, once you get them in the room and on set, that the chemistry just blossoms. And I think it works in this cast.
So what do you think was your biggest challenge with the film? Be it either, working with the director to kind of, portray what you thought was the way the scene should go, or working with an actor, or...
My biggest challenge, I feel, was myself.
Was yourself, okay.
Yeah, just not trusting myself in certain moments, not trusting what I was doing was enough. And in essence, I couldn't get out of my way sometimes. Looking at the film, I think it's great. I look at my performance, I'm like, oh, well, had I known what I know now, I think that moment could be so much better, but I was just learning in the moment, and they were filming at the same time, so...
Are you your worst critic? I mean, like, I watched the scene in which you were kind of in that area, kind of in the beginning when cheer camp kind of, began, and you've got, your moves down, and you're kind of, pushing, kind of, I don't want to say your views, but, your moves on them, and, I thought that was very entertaining. I'm just wondering, kind of like what your thoughts are on that, so.
I am my worst critic, I know that. I think every actor, every artist is, because you want to be held to high standards, and you hold those standards. So, of course, I nitpick every little thing that I do, so on the next project, I won't encounter the same issue. Everything's a stepping stone, I feel. This is a huge stepping stone onto something larger. I don't even know what that is, but I will say I'm excited. I'm living in DC. I have an audition for a Spielberg film Friday.
Ah, yes, I know that one, the Lincoln one, right?
The Lincoln one. And I'm amazed by it, just by living in DC to have the opportunity to audition. And it's something that I'm auditioning on camera for.
Wow.
But
congratulations.
But still, the opportunity to go in and audition. And I didn't know that would happen. So it's exciting that I can live in a city that I love living in. I love DC. New York, I love to visit. LA, I can visit, but I haven't found my home in those places. So having that opportunity.
You're local to our area.
I'm local.
Obviously, you're local to DC. You live in this area.
Yeah.
You probably had to travel down to Richmond, to audition.
I will.
And, tell us a little bit about how DC has influenced you as an individual. So.
I've been here for 7 years. I moved to DC to do an acting fellowship at the Kennedy Center for 9 months. Then I joined the Actors Union, loved the city, decided to stay. And DC is truly a small town, but it has a big city feel. And that's what I like about DC. Like, I knew moving to New York, it would be too distracting for my personality, that I would get boggled down by the adrenaline of New York.
Yeah.
And LA is very relaxed. I think it's going to take me a while to find where my corner, my clique is in LA. But DC, it's just that middle zone. It's always been a buffer city, and that's what I wanted. I needed, right after college, I needed a buffer city where I could finish growing up and then move into the professional world, and I've been here for 7 years. So I've done theater work. I'm still working as an actor in theater and have some gigs lined up and doing industrial films. I've been able to practice and work somewhat consistently, doing like 2 gigs a year on average. So I think it's the best place for me, and then having these other opportunities come my way is just the bonus.
Well, I have to ask you, I mean, considering the film takes place in Centerville High School, which is where we're at right now, in that area, I mean, how cool is it that you, being a DC native, can kind of bring the film to a place in which it was shot? And I mean, tomorrow we're going to have, the prep rally and everything like that. I mean, how amazing is that you actually get to bring in the people? So.
I'm looking forward to seeing the show with that audience, because it's tailored for them. And it's been a while since I've been in high school and associated with the high school community. I did some teaching in high school. So sitting with a high school crowd and watching them watch this performance, I'm eager to see them enjoy it, because as I'm sitting back, I'm enjoying it for so many reasons. They're moments that I remember shooting and then seeing it finally on film, like laughing out of sheer joy, but that's not connected really to the story. So seeing people see it for the first time that have no association to it, it's truly intriguing, and I can't wait to see it.
Well, I have to, my last question, I appreciate you taking the time tonight to talk to me, especially with the party going on still.
Yeah.
You know, for all those kids out there right now that are looking at somebody like yourself who says, you know, well, this is a guy who's made it, you know, with, you know, learning how to choreograph a scene and dance and everything like that. You've got so many shows like, you know, Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the kids out there, you know, that are looking, that say, I can do that, but I don't know how to do it? So,
the advice I would give to kids who want to participate in this kind of work is to just do it. And what I mean by just doing it, it's so easy to find an excuse why not or why you can't do something, but if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. I think YouTube is fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't get into dance class, go on YouTube. You have people who are breaking down steps. Learn what you can learn until you have the ability to take what you know to the next level. But you have to try. Anytime you can be a part of something that's for free and volunteer, participate. Build up your resume. Those little steps help. It's doing all of the little steps that lead to the bigger thing. It's paying your dues.
well, it's great. I appreciate you taking the time to, you know, talk to me, and you know, it's great that a DC native is, you know,
I know, right?
appearing in a film like this. So I mean, it's great. So thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate it. So.
Thank you.
Crazy. It's a great show. It's fun. The guys at Discover or at Animal Planet actually told me that you know, next season they're going to fly me out there to actually participate with them. So,
Cool.
yeah, I think it's really cool. Actually,
That's fantastic.
So, I get to do a lot of great stuff. I mean, this is my I call it a fun job, but
Yeah.
you know, it is a job. I mean, it's a work. It takes up probably like 80 hours a week, but. The day job actually pays the bills. This one is just kind of, you know, it gets me into, like, you know, stuff like this. We get about 50,000 people who come to the site every week, you know, every month. So, you know, it's fun. So it fluctuates. I mean, obviously, like this past Saturday, we did Nickelodeon's Worldwide Day of Play, where Nickelodeon actually shuts down their TV network as well as their website for 3 hours. To encourage kids to put down their cell phones, put down their video games, and actually get outside and play. So we got some great interviews with, you know, a bunch of Nickelodeon celebs. We got Chris Paul, LeBron James.
Yeah.
We got some, like the Big Show from WWE.
Okay.
That guy was freaking huge. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he shook my hand. I felt like I was a toddler shaking his hand. So
Damn, really? Is that
his
big?
hand was like maybe 4 times the size of my head. So
Wow. Okay.
he's huge. I mean, the guy's like probably 400 pounds, but not overweight, just huge. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but
Yeah.
I mean, we get some really cool things. So,
Okay.
you know, it's great. I mean, like I've got Chris Brown up there. We've got some shots. I mean, I was right here and he was right there. You know,
All right.
you get some great things. You know, it's fun. So. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
As their lead in a show that starts in January. So.
Oh, which show?
The Wings of Icarus Jackson.
Oh, very cool. So.
Yeah, so I'm Icarus Jackson. So if I can
Well,
pass
yeah,
this on to them, and
in fact, you know, send me an email. I would love to, you know, interview specifically for that. So,
sure, definitely.
You know, and even, you know, get a chance to maybe check out the show. And when I do a quote-unquote review of a play or of a concert, I call it a review, but I consider it more of a recap.
Yeah.
Because it's not my place to take, you know, somebody's, you know, thunder away from a concert. So what I think may be a good song to sing in a concert may not be what you think. And the same thing at a play. I mean, I may like it, and you may think, you know, well, I wish I could have seen this much and all that stuff. So a film review is a little bit different. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a you know, a film review in which I kind of have to take 2 steps back and say, I'm not a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a teenage girl. It is geared mainly for the younger crowd. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to review it based upon what I think the key demographic is going to be.
Sure. Okay.
So, you know, it's tricky that way because, you know, too many of my critics, you know, my friends and all that stuff, they look at it and, you know, they'd see a movie like tonight and they go, well, it's not an Academy Award winner.
Okay.
You know,
so I wasn't
for
trying
what
to
that's
be.
saying, you know, exactly. You're not trying to be an Academy Award. Not to say that the acting wasn't good and all that stuff, but you know, it's tricky because you have to kind of like somebody asked me what was the most recent one in which I did that was kind of around that key demographic, and I said it would probably have to be Disney's Prom. You know, it's kind of the teenage, you know, girl, you know, demographic and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I liked it. I gave it a good review because if I were to put myself into that position, it answered to everything I would have wanted. So, you know, and I'm a Disney fan. So, and I have a feeling that your movie could potentially show up on Disney Channel. So,
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
I think that or ABC Family.
Yeah, see, I spoke with Mark, and Mark wouldn't give me any clues. He said he's speaking with 2 television you know, places, and I said, might it be Disney Channel? And he said, I don't know. So
yeah, I could see that.
Could potentially be it. So
any one of those cable networks, I can see that.
Yeah, Disney, you know, ABC Family, Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
You know,
I don't know Nickelodeon too well.
Yeah, Nickelodeon. I don't know. I got a lot more respect for them after this past weekend because, you know, I got so many, you know, exclusives and everything like that.
Cool.
So, the only thing I've gotten out of this past weekend is the interviews that I did on their orange carpet, of course, was the Nickelodeon, so, which was great. So, got some really good stuff. I had my one of my writers actually did the sports interviews because although I know sports, I don't know them as well as as he does. So he did those with Chris Paul and everybody like that. So fun stuff. Cool. Get some great things, great shots. I'll have probably tomorrow. I'll put up my Victoria Justice. Exclusive. I was the only person that was allowed to take pictures of her doing a tennis thing with LeBron James and Chris Brown. So. It was production, and it was me. And the only reason it was me was because I snuck myself in there with the press badge.
Good for you.
You'd be surprised how many times you kind of have to, sneak your way into things. So. But
make it out for yourself.
It's fun. So
yeah, you didn't get thrown out. So
exactly.
And you have the only photos.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. So.
No one got you that stuff. It's fun.
I will probably be here. I don't see why I'm not going to be for the prep rally tomorrow. So
I have no idea if I will be.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are. I know that I forget the gentleman's name who we were talking to. He had Robert. Yeah, he had a list of who was going to be here tomorrow, who was going to be here at the end of the day. So.
I can make it out here.
Well, for me, it kind of sucks because you're local, so you're not exactly flying.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, no. I don't further.
So they don't have you up.
It just takes me a lot more. I can plan my metro bus because I rented the car for the day. I'm like, it's weird, but I rented the car for the day. So tomorrow I'm like, I'll just walk to the 15 bus. I don't know.
Yeah, The difference between today and tomorrow is today was more press and the VIPs. And tomorrow is going to be people who are actually going to be seeing.
I want to see it. I want to see the reaction to it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get